Hey guys, David Fitness Technology Services again. So today I'm going to do something I don't want to do. I had a couple requests on how I would do it. It's changing these bearings out in these rollers. I have a couple videos out on how to change the actual rear roller. I guess it's cheaper to buy the bearings, and I can't really disagree with that. But in general, to change these bearings is a lot of work. There's a couple of videos out on it. I've seen them do it. Seems like it takes a little bit of time. I've seen the end of this get all mushroomed out and had to be put on a lathe and filed back down. So I guess if you got that kind of tools laying around, then I guess that's kind of okay. But really, if you look on the video about just change one roller out to with the other one, 20-minute job or something like that, maybe a 30-minute job at the most. But I've gotten requests on that, so I am going to change this bearing out right here. All right, so let's see what happens. First off, you need to make sure that you have the right size bearing to go back in place. They're all not the same, and as far as I know, Sol doesn't actually sell the bearings, so you have to get them independently. So make sure you look on the Raceway and get the bearing number, because this will tell you the size of the diameter of the hole and the outside circumference of the whole bearing itself. And each one is a little different. That's why rollers are different. And they're even different really with the front roller versus the rear roller. Every manufacturer's the difference. Hold on right here. I'm going to reach over and show you something. Some rollers, you can't even change the bearings in. They're completely sealed. So I'm not here to name what manufacturers do what. I'm just here to try and change this bearing. So this for me normally, to change the roller, again, a half-hour job, 15 minutes. I also have to have an extra snap ring because I got a feeling I'm going to break the snap ring. And I don't have a lathe, and I don't have a bearing puller. So to do this job, you're going to need a pair of snap ring pliers. So you're into it for 24, 29 bucks already. A professional bearing puller usually runs around $49, and I've never had one because I've always changed the rollers out. So I don't have one, but if you have one laying around and we want to see how this works, let's see. All right, so the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to have to remove this snap ring right here. And this is what I plan on breaking. Give me a little extra light on that. Getting old, can't see too well. So that's a factor right there. If you can't see too well, then that makes it a little more difficult. Alright, so now I have that somewhat off, so you can see that. So you got to pull these out a little bit with these snap ring pliers and just reach it in there and just open it up. You also need them for changing your Sol elliptical wheels. So the snap ring pliers for general tools, they come in handy. Again, I do it for a living. I've never ever used a bearing puller. So here's the other thing. Even when you do as good a job as you can, you bend this some. So this gets a little bent. Can you see that? Is that seeable?
It's kind of hard to see because you're on the right. Okay.
Okay, so it just gets out of shape. You can squeeze these back with a pair of pliers, so that will kind of work too. But I'm just going to set it right there, set this one right here. All right, so now we're going to shove this through here. So that wasn't too hard. But now the problem's going to be, I don't want to mush this because it's going to have to go through the next set of bearings, and I don't own a lathe, so I can't file it back down. So let's just stick it back in here again. And let's see if gravity and a little bit of luck. So I'm just kind of lightly wiggling this at different angles. It's coming a little bit there. But I'm trying to do it lightly because I don't want to mush up, we're getting there, the head on my axle. That's kind of hard to do. So I'm going to take my Phillips here Put this in here. Pull that back out. There's a little difficulty. All right, so as light a tap as possible. You ready? All right, so we almost got it, guys. It's coming out. See, if I gotta hit it. I hate hitting things like that if I can all avoid it. You could use a rubber mallet, I guess, but I'm not sure if that's hard enough to make a difference. Sometimes they don't have any impact to them. Well, that worked. All right, so I got the bearing out. And I'm going to have to pull this shaft back out and knock the other side. All right. I had to use my screwdriver again, as you saw, for a little bit of pressure. Now this side should be easier. Again, I'm not going to hammer on it. I'm just going to see if the weight of this axle will be enough to drive it through. This side's harder. I would have thought this would be easier. So I don't want to booger that up. Let me see. No, that's still looking pretty good. So what do we got going here? We got nothing going here. Alright. So I kind of feel that a little bit. I think what the problem is I'm hitting the outside edges, so let's see about that. Then it's going to want to go through. So I'll tell you what, for an experiment, I will try reversing this thing around. Of course, you know that's going to ruin another C-clamp. I can feel it on the edge. See, right off the bat, to me, I'm going to hold true. I don't think it's really worth it. Now the C-clip, let's see which breaks first, the bearing or the C-clip. We going anywhere? Oh, we're going somewhere. I'm tapping as light as I can, but I got to put some pressure on it. Well, it worked at least. So let's see what we got. All right. C-clip's a little stressed from that. The end of that looks pretty good. The end of that looks pretty good. So I don't think we've, oops, you might not be able to see that. I don't think we've damaged anything. So I only have one C-clip. So I'm going to grab my pliers. I'll be right back with you. And I will show you how to fix one of these snap rings in case you booger it up like I did. So we're going to go with this one here. All right, so what we're going to need to do, bend that back there. Bend that back there. And then we're going to bend the whole two together a little bit. Not a lot. Just enough to hold it. Alright? Alright. So, since I'm not worried about the machine, I'm going to put these other bearings back in. Sound pretty good to me. So, the install should be just the opposite. It's a lot lighter now. So again, I'm hoping, I don't like to hammer things too much. I'm going to take an extra bearing, and that way I can tap on that until I get a little straight, and lightly tap it all around. You don't want to tap it in the middle and break that bearing, alright? So we're just going to do that. It's nice and flush. I can tell you right now, I'm going to recommend the roller over changing the bearings. But I can actually say I've done it. And you know who requested me to do this, so I'm not mentioning any names. But I told you I don't do this. Alright, and if you want to know, the bearing for this roller is 620 3RS. I know bearings have a quality rating on them. I don't know them by heart. My son used to skateboard, and I can tell you for sure that there's a big difference in bearings. We would sit his skateboards upside down. I actually had a skateboard shop, and spin the wheels, and some of the wheels would turn for 5 minutes, and you just couldn't stand waiting. And some of the wheels would turn for 20 seconds, and you felt sorry for the kid that was trying to skate on that board. So I see you're smiling, Sue. You remember those days, yep. So that's how it kind of is with a skateboard. So I know for sure. But here's the other thing about that, is as a parent, it used to flip me out because the skateboard bearings would cost $4 for 8 of them, or $140 for 8 of them. But they were a lot better. So I don't really know what level bearings that these companies use. But I do know that there is an actual difference, all right? So we're going to stick this back in here. I'm planning on this going easier. Yeah, see, everything's a little boogered up. That's the other thing. See, even though I'm trying to be careful, I'm still boogering these edges up a little bit, so I'm going to be gentle. Oh, that's not too bad. I'll accept that boogering. That's not bad. We want to make sure we get this straight. Ah, good. I like it when I don't have to use a hammer. All right, so now we have to put our snap rings back on. Matter of fact, I'm going to reuse, because this video is strictly for demonstration. Instead of ruining my one that I paid for, I'm going to re-put back on the mucked up one. Of course, if I got the coordination to do that. Don't you come back here. All right. So stick these back in here. I know you can't really see that, but these go back in here like this. Snap ring pliers. Snap ring. Yeah. All right. See, look at that. Fumble, fumble, fumble. But I guess if you got the snap ring and you have a better bearing puller than mine, which is no bearing puller at all, I guess it's not too bad of a job. Push it down. Down just a little bit more. Make sure it's well seated in there. You'll kind of hear the snap ring go, snap! Maybe that's why they call it snap ring. You know, I never thought about that. All right, so we're back in place. I didn't replace that one because it's still holding up and it's just video's sake. But that's really about it. I'm not sure how long that took. Plus you have to allow 5 more minutes to install this back in. I have a lot of videos on how to install your rear roller, so I'm not going to take your time up with that. The only thing I will say is I'm a little different. I like to mark where my rear roller goes. I don't necessarily count the threads or anything. I think that's a little too inaccurate for me, because you never know if you have somebody with a 4-inch or a 2-inch or a 1-inch Allen. You don't know how many strokes you're getting on that. So I like to mark where the roller is sitting in the belt. All right, and I guess that's really about it. I guess not too bad, really. It depends. Again, you're looking at $80 worth of tools. Don't know how often you plan on replacing your bearings. If I could find a way to upgrade them, if I knew the different numbers, maybe somebody that's going to watch this video will know the different numbers, what they mean, what the grading system is. But beyond that, I think if you don't have the tools, or you don't really want to spend the time doing it, it's probably, to me, just as easy to change the rear roller. It's $120 plus shipping or something like that. Bearings are $30. Snap ring pliers are $40. the bearing puller, which you really need. Unless you get lucky like me, you can see you can do it without it. That's why I did the video. But in general, it's around another $49. So, you know, you're looking at $105, and you're going to spend $120, maybe a little bit more, for shipping and handling and stuff like that. So anyway, there you go. I did your video. That's how you change the bearings with no extra tools. I can't help it. I couldn't do anything about the snap ring pliers, so you have to buy them, sir. And again, you know who I'm talking about. And that's really about it. But maybe snap ring pliers and bearings, and you can get the whole thing done for about $70. But don't forget, the roller's $120, so whatever your time's worth. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, sir. And I'll see you soon. All right, bud. Thanks a lot.